I'm not covering Soludo and its what have you. I have seen few areas where it's what do you call it? It's social media sellers. They have shown roads that is constructed, like and those shiny ones there as well. So I'm not going to write him off completely. It's just that people were asking him why they are not seeing the real development he promised them, other than just some supposed local government worthy of projects that is, is brandishing as state government projects. So maybe another time I'll show you more about Anambra. But it's just that his answer was what jolted me there, like, oh. So the reason why Anambra will not be Africa, Dubai, Taiwan is because Soludo is investing in educating the Anambra people first, because they are illiterate and all that. So they shouldn't expect their Taiwan yet. Maybe in the second term, he will give you Taiwan. Lokonta. Did I pronounce that right? Yeah, that is in Abia State. Take a look at what the Fulanis did to this cassava farm in this Lokota area of Abia State and the victims.
Hello, Sorom Neteo. Yeah, Kwajak last year, November. This November, next month, Anagabu 1 year. Lay Nama made. Nama Biata, Taya Hana, who can have Madama. I just so. Lakataja Punem, we name a bebolo way now. Our Jackbo 7. Lay Hendena Mamedy. George Kamotu Jackbo no Ziozo. Namagel Lakota Liu. Name bebugo way now. Ever. Gonu letekwe here na man eme mmadụ n'obodo mmadụ tagbu ahụhụ tụfubu ego sụgbu ala megbuo niile na ma agaghịkwa onye a ka o weta ihe ahụ rie na ma ga emebisie ji akpụwa nkwa ka ọ na-afụ na-elekwe
ebe ha food ha ga si ebe a gbe bata se bu lu bi mbu ga ambia se jadi ka sa bu bi mi elile bu ti ti bu bi mo sa ti ti bo ja ku mu ere lam o ma ego se mu no ego u sa bi ta ja ku se mu no ego wori si esoro na ma wori ta bo ja ku se mu soro na ma ga ta ye ele me he wala
na fuyo na ugo washiwe hubo di jakpo ana ehu na ate na ama oha wama ha leme ka mo fu jakpa dozen na jakpo ozo awara ala 7 le atagide takpo ye ajabala bo be ko fu abal ugo jakpo de ba amahodo atakota onwe jakpo dizebe ozo ala tigide kunga wata se ha mbe kwe ngata heme udidi otu na lo gbanta gi bunga hele me otu lo gbanta gi gbante ala to onye eje egbu ala to onye da se nfe lo gbanta gi gbante ala megide ha nwa ma bu mi ha bedu nagbo he na ma ga de ki di aye ala le na ma ala nya ndi eje me oye mu ka di me do he mbe me na wow na wow
Na ndị Hausa pakwara aka o. Awara ala jakpo 7. Awara ala 7. Awara ala 7. Awara ala 7. Aha kete. Ama ego ole ji wee kọọ. Ama ego ole ji wee kọọ. Ndị otu ha si eme ihe a mmadụ amaghị. Ha na-ehote na-atịrị na ma ha ka ha na-avụla evula ala. Aga m akọwanwu. Jakpo okporo aha kete. Ha jọsọ. Vụọ ihe niile. From A to Z. Stelishi ruo na ngwụcha. Onwe ebe jakpo dị. Ha lachichagbuo jakpo ahụ n'iwu. Unu na-eletekwe o. Unu na-eletekwe o. Igwe otu jakpo ha. Ha bụkọta jakpo niile. Ebe niile kilie. Onye ọbịa ya chịwa ọchị maọbụ onye ọbịa ya obi ga-adị ya mma. Na ego ole ji wee kọọ jakpa. Unu na-elekwe. Jakpo kpụrụ aha kete buchi ibu. Ha jọsọ ule ajịkọta jakpa nliwe. Onwe nke ha tafọrọ. Nna anawa o. Bụrụ ọkwa obere ihe o. Mmadụ aga makwa ihe ọ ga-eme eme. Na ma jọsọ gbuo mmadụ egbu ebe a o. Nne m ebegbugo onwe ya n'akwa. Yara akwa na ha eme ihe. Ama ego la tụfuru ebe a n'ọkọchị. Ike mmadụ kegidere. Ego ọgwụ ahịa gbaa ya. Ego ọgwụ ahịa gbaa ya. Ma bịa sụwa. Ama ego la tụfuru kịta na aka ma ofu jakpa dị hoị. Na ma gị takọta dị jakpo. Ọhaneze unu lerekwe o. Unu nakwa echeki ya o. Mgbe mmadụ ga-emasị ya eme. Onye makwa ebe ndị nama ahụ. Ọnụ soro m lete o.
I mean, it's not that people are not trying to farm and grow their food. So when people complain about expensive food, that they can't afford this and that, some of us would conveniently just say, but why can't people just go and farm? Why can't people just go back to the farm? There was an orchestrated plan where the farmers in Nigeria have received endless coordinated attacks on their farms. I mean, farmers have been killed, farms have been destroyed, in their thousands and tens of thousands of hectares of land destroyed, which has now created this level of food inflation, hyperinflation, and hunger in Nigeria. People have run into debt because they invested in trying to grow food, only for the Fulani terrorists to come, destroy them, and feed their cows. And whenever the people try to fight back or push back, you know what happened to them? That is Nigeria for you. It's an unfortunate thing, right? Nobody is really spared. No one is spared. If you have seen those who have become are victims of this, nobody is spared. From the north to the south, from the west to the east, to the central, to the south, in all this area, nowhere, no one is spared. And only few make it to the media. Only few makes it to the media. A lot of people that this happened to, they never have the chance of making it to the media. Then you see the politicians who are buying every available bag of rice in Nigeria, hoarding them so that they can share them as palliatives. So those of you who can no longer feed yourselves, so that they can say, oh yeah, the government is trying to feed everyone. We are doing our best to make sure that and all that. It's unfortunate. Anyway, Mo will leave that one too for now. Okay. So the Sokoto people, I hope you remember this promise of a Devulumayi on top of this road of a thing, right? I found a video where Devulumayi is already telling the Sokoto people that they will get their road, 1,000 kilometer road. by 2027. I should have played you this earlier, but just watch. It's never too late. Better late than never.
That is what we are going to do. So before 2027, this phase 1A will finish. Do you want phase 2A to finish? Sokoto people, do you want phase 1A, 1B to finish? Yeah, it's going to start around 2027. You know what to do. You did it before. You know what to do. The president you trust is the only one who will finish it. Because if others had the courage, 48 years, they would have attempted it. But no one did. A man of courage, a divine president. He will finish it, but he needs time to finish it. And like His Eminence said, we are working day and night. But 3 years is too small to finish. But we can finish in the next 6 years. That is what we are going to do.
Yeah, the road where they never start. They are already telling them, phase 1 will take 6 years. Phase 2, maybe it will take 50 years. Something they've never... I think it's the same thing they will tell you too. For the Lagos Calabar Super Coastal Highway. Do you want it to be finished? Yes. Anyway, I think we should quickly go on to have our WeChat. I mean, do you remember what I told you this afternoon? The guest that we are having this evening. So we have the next 20 minutes, okay? So, to discuss the scourge of human trafficking and the effect or the impact of human trafficking on their victims, and to see how much awareness we can raise to ensure that no other young person is involved or becomes a victim again in this issue of human trafficking. So I think I have, Temitope in the studio. So I'm going to bring her on. We can have our chat. Please bear with me. I am still going to, before I introduce her to us, so it's going to be very brief. So she is that lady that will tell you a story. And our story is to inspire other young people, even kind of not too younger people in Nigeria, when we are talking about human trafficking scourge in that place. So in the next 20 minutes, I am going to be having a wheel chat with, I kind of know her as Temitope, but she would be addressed as Adenike, I think, right? So, and then we will be raising a fund in support of Temitope, My Journey. She wrote a book, a book about her journey, her experience when she was taken out of Nigeria. So upon her return, she decided to possibly see if raising awareness will help a lot of other young people from becoming victims. So that is the segment we are moving into right now, okay? And I've been joined as well by our own, the African Wahala, who has been, the man doing his own bit to ensure that our voice is more amplified for all of us to be able to learn one or two things and at the same time offer our support. So, Adenike, sorry, I kind of muted you earlier, so you can say you are muted now. So how are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Great. So I came across your story when the African Wahala, our own here, right? Sort of, being the touch on your experience. And I became very, very touched. So I decided that I am going to introduce you to my friends here as well. So please tell us, What really happened that motivated you into writing a book that you're about to launch tomorrow? Please.
Um, to God be the glory, because
Amen.
it's not that easy to be a victim. One of the things that motivates me to write the book is, first thing is the stigmatization and discrimination the victim of human trafficking face in the society as Nigeria at large. Second thing is, we need to create awareness. We need to let the unaware to be aware about the dangers of being a victim of human trafficking in the society, because the governments are not helping. Why did I say the governments are not helping? Some of the people that are in the office to advocate against irregular migration and human trafficking today are not doing their work. Because we are the victim, we are the survivor. We know what it takes. We know the roots. We know how it seems, the pains of being a victim of human trafficking, the pains of coming back to the society empty-handed, the pains of coming back with a mental, the trauma, depression, and the community are not welcoming you well. So we don't want the potential migrants to fall victim. This is what we can do to help ourselves. Those are the things that I think, okay, let me just put my story out there. And another thing, let's solicit for fund, because I don't want to sell the book. The reason why I don't want to sell the book is there are some lost giants, the heroes who lost their life in this journey. How will they survive? They will be there today to celebrate me. So I'm only celebrating myself and the victim of human trafficking for them not to lose hope. Because there are some students that could not be able to afford a textbook in Nigeria as at now. So why do you have to sell a migration content for them? Because I was in school then. I wish there's availability for me to see something like awareness. I might not fall victim, but everything is destiny. Because if it did not happen, I will not meet African Wahala. I will not meet my ego. Surviving is a grace. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, bless you. I've gotten used to Temitope because your book says, my journey, which is Temitope, and then the title of your book is My Journey. So, I don't know if you sharing with us it happened is not going to trigger any form of trauma. I bet a lot of people have asked you this many times. How did it happen? How did you end up being sort of trafficked? And how did you realize you were being trafficked? What were you promised? What did they tell you? And then what did you find out? You know what I mean? So if that is not going to trigger any form of trauma, would you like to share?
No.
Please.
Okay, I came from a family where they believe girl child are meant to be in the kitchen. They don't believe in education. But my mom cherishes education very well. She sent me to school because she's selling food. But as times goes on, she could not be able to afford the bills of me going to school. So there's a friend of which is in Libya, told me about the opportunity. I see it then as an assistance. I see it then as a dream. What I've been doing for, because Libya now abroad that time. Who no go, no go, no. So I accepted the offer. I back on the journey. I spent 3 months in deserts. I was molested on the road and I was raped. A lot of trauma. And at the end of the day, when I reached my destination, which is Libya, she sold me out to a Ghanaian, which I was bought as a bride price. Initially, before I left Nigeria, she told me I'm going to pay for 3 months. So when I reached there, I was being asked to pay for 1 year, 3 months with hard labor. I could not be able to send anything back to Nigeria. So along the line, it's not that easy. I could not get access to my parents. I paid them off their money. There's a friend of mine in Nigeria that wrote to the embassy a petition letter to bring me back home during the crisis in Libya then. The embassy called me. On my way again, I was arrested. I was raped inside the car and they took me to prison. From prison, I found my way to escape because I meet with different kind of Nigerians there. The person that I think that helped me also have to sell me out to a brothel house. It has not be easy. At the end of the day, I escaped from the brothel house. After working, I could flash back to how many men I was sleeping with us in a day, with force and with tears, all not because of money. These people did not have the fear. All they want is money in pain. I found my way back to the embassy because I escaped after 3 weeks in the brothel house. 15 minutes in a day. We have a jotter where we write everything. Imagine that kind of pain and trauma. And I'm still coming back here in Nigeria to give awareness, to share my experience as people are discriminating. So I have to stand out as an hero, as a woman who love the community, who love the potential migrants, who love the youth. The love of returnees are in my heart. As at yesterday, I organized a program called Return is Nice, where we were able to bring love back, share our experience, create memories, and celebrate those lost heroes who lost their life on this journey. After some days, I found my way to the embassy, I found the embassy wrote we were back to Nigeria through a chartered flight, and we have been given 5,000 naira for empowerment by the state government, Senator Ibukula Amosu then, to start up something. 2019, I returned 2018, 2019, I started up speaking with people, and to God be the glory today. I can be able to say I've rescued a minimum of people. About 30 returnees are under my NGO, and we have registered, and we are made to create awareness, sensitize, psychosocial support, evaluation and mentorship, and we meant to support the schools awareness, market sensitization and school sensitization on dangers of irregular migration in the society. Because as at now, Ogun State have the highest rate of return, which the governments are not looking up to, but we are the one that can look up to. Seeing you all, Mr. Mayegun, African Wahala, we know just as at now, there's 600 victims in Mali, in Lebanon. So we need to look up to them and rescue them back home.
Thank you so much, Timmy. You've kind of like you said a lot. I have to give that to you. Okay, and the African Wahala is a very good friend of mine, okay? And is somebody who is also very much passionate. He's got his own experience. The African Wahala. You once told me that you've had an experience where yourself and then your missus how to rescue a young lady that you only a random girl that you met at the airport, which because you didn't really have so much time on your hands to kind of do what Timmy is doing. Would you like to share that with us? Because that seems to be what has connected you and Timmy together and then brought us to this stage today.
In fact, thank you so much, Maegun, for this platform, for this opportunity. So what had happened was me and my wife, we went to Nigeria. On our way back, we saw a lady at the airport. She was being trafficked to Oman. And she wasn't a young lady. She was maybe in her late 30s, We kept in touch with her for about 6 months, and then we lost contact. She was explaining to us multiple times how her documents were seized, no access to her family and stuff like that. But eventually we lost contact. We weren't able to rescue that lady. However, I was always interested in, people, irregular migration, people crossing the Sahara Desert into Europe. In one of my binge watching episodes on YouTube, I came across Legit TV interviewing Temitope. She was a returnee, and that was back in 2019. So I contacted her on Facebook. I was just interested in her story. I don't know. I was just interested. And then we became friends since 2019. So it's been about 5 years now. And then during that process, she launched her foundation called Foundation for Action Against Irregular Migration. In that foundation, because of her contacts from being in Libya, many people started reaching out to her about people that needed to be rescued. So there was a particular girl that we were able to rescue. She goes by the name Besta. I'm not going to give her last name because back then she was about 16. She was trafficked to Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso. She ended up in a town called Bonga, which is about 100 kilometers from Ouagadougou. She ended up reaching out to Nike. Nike didn't have the resources. Me, far away in Canada, I was calling the Burkina Faso embassy in Quebec, calling the Nigerian embassy in Ouagadougou, Nigerian High Commission, explaining to them that, listen, we have this young girl. She's 16 years old. She needs to be rescued. Something needs to be done. By that time, I had already physically spoken to the young girl through video call. She escaped from her captors. They sent her to go buy something outside. She used that opportunity to run away. She ended up, she was kept by I just want to say Aboki. The Aboki guy that owns that shop kept her at the back of the shop, gave her a phone. I communicated with her. And then the very next morning, the guy took her to the garage to Ouagadougou. At the garage, the traffickers were waiting for her. She was kidnapped again, but somehow, some way, she struggled with the Okada. It was an Okada rider. They both fell into the bushes, making loud noise. People came around from the surroundings. The Okada guy